All right, so oh my goodness. Yep, fat finger. I just finished my trading for the day, and we're green today, 295. Traded Tesla, but we were really bad. We weren't we weren't great today. I think some of it is just bad composure, and just I think because you've had like 2 or 3 red days in a row, chances are your confidence will be hit. So my first 2 trades were not very good trades. And then I had a fumble trade where I played a put instead of a call, and it's the $36 one. And then I recovered. Oh, and then I recovered with one, and then recovered with another, which has kind of put me green. And I'm gonna stop here today. There were 3 tickers I was looking at to trade today, and when they talk about trading with probability, I think there were a lot of things that kind of held me back today, where I wasn't very happy with some of the way the price action looked. Yeah, Apple, for instance, I wanted to take, but I wasn't very convinced with how it was moving compared to, say, Tesla. Um, FUZI and the SPY. The SPY essentially kind of governs everything. There were some really good tickers that went up today, really, really good ones like DKNG, but I don't trust DKNG. So I almost wanted to short this because it's at supply, but it's so strong and it's also close to all-time highs. The idea was, obviously, I couldn't find a demand zone here, and I didn't want to take it from this point, even though there was room for a demand. And of course, it rallied up. Then obviously there's obviously supply here, which is really where I would be looking to short. But it was just being so strong. I mean, this is the second supply area. Oh no, this is the 1 hour supply. This is the 30-minute supply. So maybe this is the one that works. But it's been so strong. I mean, even the volumes as well have been really, really strong that I didn't want to trade in the opposite direction to a very strong trend. Of course, sometimes you will have that could always be the case, but doesn't mean that the stock will change direction. So, or will not change direction. So I just didn't want to take the chance, and that's it. It's all about probability. The only probability trades that I saw were, I mean, I could have taken the SPY today because it's so clean, extremely clean. You have a double bottom over here, right in a 2 hour demand zone. Look at the rally up, and then past the VWAP. The same thing with Tesla, although I did have some demand areas, but I just did not have a really good plan or idea. I took Tesla long from the break of this trend line that was over here. I had a trend line here, and then got the that was where that 315 was. But anyway, let's actually go through everything, and why I took what I took, and what basically the whole plan of the day. So the day started. I bought. These are the calls that I bought that I knew and it's funny because when I bought them, I looked at it later and I realized that, oh my god, this is a bad play. This was at 9:57, so today I kind of chilled. Excuse me. So 9:57. If we even use the. All right, yeah, I now know why I bought the calls. Where is it here? Yeah, was at the VWAP. Why did I buy the calls here? Hang on. I think it was because I assumed. Where are we now? Excuse me. All right. So if I use a. was it this break of this trend line? I think it was, but again, I'm not entirely sure because I think at the time I had a demand region here, and I saw this as a double top, a double bottom, and this is a problem with trading on the 1 minute chart. I always find really stupid entries. So double bottom. I bought it around here, right? And I got a really bad fill as well. It didn't ever cross the VWAP. It tried here, and then look at this, a double top. So of course that came out. So I got out around here for a loss of about $200 and something, which, if you really think about it, that was past my stop. My stop was $100, but 200 and something was not what I wanted. And the reason why that is as options, it's very hard. Things are a bit whippy today. Today is quad witching, so there's a lot of movement around. Oh, this is actually cool. Anyway, so I got out, was a bit upset. And usually when I'm upset like that, it's never a good feeling. I was like, oh man. It's funny, it's subtle upsetness. But that subtle upsetness is what leads to drawdowns, and it's what leads to bad plays. So, yeah, I'm happy that I just kind of stopped for a bit. All right, so yeah, this was it, I think. Where was it now? Which was a strike of, yeah, that one. I lost $195. So I then now played, I think this is what? Some puts. Lost money on that too. I lost quite a bit actually. I was going with smaller sizes and smaller contracts. So normally I'll go for deltas of like 0.5 or 0.51. Today I decided to go for deltas of 0.2 to 0.3, just because I wanted to just chill out a bit. So the next one was at 10:08 and 10:15. So what happened then? 10:08. I should really mark my thing is. Here we go. So I played a put. Right, I remember, because we were testing the bottom of this zone. And what was interesting was when that was happening, that's when I was looking at the SPY. Oh, now nice, look at Tesla running all of a sudden, and now challenging high of day. So I should have just stayed in my calls from there. But when you're not feeling great and you just don't want to lose again, and it's not, you see, this is the problem. You should never ever feel that way. You should never let a trade from one trade influence another trade, especially if you already know how much you want to risk. And I think I was just not in the mood at the time. All right, so at the time, I took some puts, and I noticed at that same point, this is this area. At that same point, we had a double bottom, I think, at this area. Let me just check. Yeah, we had a double bottom. So I played puts around here, hoping for it to challenge this bottom because it already challenged that. And then we started to rise up. And I also looked at the SPY at that time. Let's just move it to where it was. Yeah, and I started to see the SPY going up, and I thought, okay, and then it was going to challenge, like break this trend line. Maybe not this one, but at that point it was, it looked bullish. It was coming out of a demand area. This is a demand area for Tesla. I just thought this is probably not a good idea, sort of staying in that space. So I jumped out, but obviously I jumped out a bit later. I stayed in for quite a bit, but it wasn't because it was a losing trade and I was hoping for it to come back up. I just thought, okay, let's prove this thing. If it breaks the range, I would get out. The next one was I played two calls. Oh yeah, I think this is ones that actually worked out. I played two calls, 10:15 to 10:21. I think that was at the break of the trend line. I decided to stop trading with that chart. 10:15. Yeah, at the break. And then I got out around VWAP. Usually what happens is I would get in there. I can't remember how much I put my risk at, but I knew that if it had come back in here, I was getting out. Or if it had reversed to the back of the candle, I wasn't going to stay. So my risk was really tight. If I were doing this long term, say this was my first day trade and I was risking $100, this would probably be where I'll put my risk, which is, so I would just go for, well, I guess it's about $10. So I'll go for a 10 delta, 0.10 delta call. And I would have gone, yeah, so 10, maybe about 100. Yeah, so that's it. That would have been, I would have just followed price like this. I don't really care as long as, as long as my stop isn't hit. Like I said, I was only risking $100 today. And ideally, this would have been the better trade. This trend line came from a 15-minute chart. I drew this from a 15-minute chart. So that was the one that kind of got in here. I think that's one where I got about $300 out of. I played 2 contracts, which again is not a good idea because I'm playing 2 contracts to cover a loss, which is not the way you should trade. You should never ever trade to cover a loss. You should just trade the plan as you go along. So I did that anyway, and then what else again? I think this was a mistake put. Where was it now? I bought. Wait, the first one closed, and then the second one. Interesting. Interesting. So price had actually gone a bit high. I thought the price went lower, which is why when I could have even left it in and just put the stop there. All right, so, and this was a mistake. I think I put the stop a bit too high. All right, so then next one was a Tesla put. Yeah, this was one I should have done as a call, and this was a mistake. All right, so I put in puts by mistake. When it finally did break the VWAP at 1040 to 1042, I couldn't understand what was going on around here. Here we go, at 1040 to 1042. So this, I didn't understand what was going on when I noticed that it was rallying up and the price was dropping here, and I thought, there's something wrong. And I noticed it said put, and I was like, oh my goodness, no. I was very lucky because the delta on that one was, I think, 20 or like 20 something, so it was really low. So I was, had it been a higher one, that would have wiped out a lot in my account. So I got out of it really quickly. Sadly, that was a waste. So that too was a waste. That was another waste, which was annoying. And then what was the next one again? So we now did so after that we now bought some small calls instead, after to correct the mistake. And then got out like not too far in, and I think maybe because I wasn't too happy with, I didn't want it to reverse. Then I got 10 contracts. I decided, what, let me buy a really cheap contract on today's expiry, because I can see there's a lot of momentum, as you can see. As the price was gapping up. This is around here. After it crossed the view up, I saw a lot of momentum. So I tried to get in over here. I could put my limit order above the price. It just didn't take it. And by that time, it had already gone up. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I got in, I think around here. Oh, hang on. Let's see the time. Which is annoying because that would have been awesome, right? If I had gotten in where I wanted to get in, I had to use a market order to get in because it wouldn't take my limit order. So I got in with a market order with 10 contracts at 10:52.15 and got out at 10:43. So it was a really quick scalp. And I got out, I scaled out 2, 3, and then, So it was, actually, no, these two were together. So 5 contracts because we had done really well already. But as you can see, the price was dropping already. So we got in at 10:52.15. 10:52. Here we are. Yeah, so I tried to get on this bar when I saw it had turned green and I saw this rally down. I was like, okay, this dropped. And I was like, okay, this would be a really good place to get in. But that wasn't to be. I got in a bit higher and then made the money that I made on this bar alone. Just I think it was about 300 or almost $400 on that. Yeah, 295. No, it wasn't 295 because it's 295 now. So what did we make? Call. What was the strike? 650. So it was this one. All right, so all right, we were at break even at that time. I didn't know. I wasn't checking my P&L. I tried my best today not to. But yeah, as you can see, we on this one we made no, sorry, it wasn't 295. It was 315. So we made 315 on this one. I was hoping we could have gotten a bit earlier, so we could have at least doubled that a bit. But it wasn't to be. In fact, the price did actually go as far as $500 or $600, but I wasn't quick enough, and I didn't want to market order out. But having, I think my issue was probably the open interest. Oh, the volume wasn't high. It was quite high on this particular one that I got. But anyway, so ouch. So that was my trading day. Like I said, confidence was waning. I was a bit tired today. Not really feeling as confident. So, and I think that has a lot to do with, I don't know, just the way things have been moving. I didn't want to have a bias today. I'm looking at the way price is moving. Only God knows. It may just, like you see, it's double topped. So this is already a sign that we may even have further down motion, which is probably going to come back down like it does sometimes. I don't have any more buying power. So this is what I was waiting for all day. But yeah, I have no buying power right now. So, but I mean, it's fine. This is totally fine. I'm just going to take the day. Let's see. Is there anything I can do? There isn't any option that is, we take, because I would love to try it out. Actually, there is. I could just play one contract of maybe one of these. But again, we're done, right? We're done. We're not trying to, we don't need to force things. We're done for the day. We can always come back on Monday and start again. But if this goes all the way down, hey, that's trading, right? Because guess what? There's also a chance that it could reverse and go back up. You just do not know. With trading, anything can happen. All right. So that's my recap. Oh, actually, I'm just seeing that. Yeah, so this looks like a real strong supply area. Just seeing that right now. Let's try this. Let's try it. Let's try this. Okay, and I'm only going to risk. Where is it? Let's take this one. I hope I put in the right one. Okay, so where am I? What am I trying to do? I've completely forgotten puts. Okay, and let's just verify this before we actually start getting into any trades, because I like to make sure that we are at least, because for all I know now, this could be a waste of time, and then I would just start regretting what I've done. Well, I can hear the voices in my head saying, Jide, you are done, so stop. You don't have to try and prove this to yourself. Let it go. And I think I will listen. All right. Okay. Gonna enjoy the rest of my weekend. This is Friday. I always tend to get to this point. I just remembered now that there was a time when I was up quite a bit on a Friday. I think it was about $3,500, and I was up by about 10 o'clock, and I lost everything and some because I thought I was invincible. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to accept my gains and walk away.